Hey guys, what's up? It's your boy SatiDJ and welcome back to another Minecraft Let's Play. And guys, I think it's about time we address the issue. So you're probably wondering why I've been jumping off cliffs. That is because we installed a new data pack called Player Head Drops. And basically what this means is when we die, we drop our player head. However, by jumping off cliffs and dying by fall damage, we don't actually collect our player heads from that. The player head can only be collected when killed by another player. But since this is a single player world, we don't have any other player that can kill us. But lucky for us, shooting an arrow in the sky and letting it hit us and kill us counts as another player killing us, which means that we can collect the player head. So I've been having a lot of fun with this and I've been killing myself a lot to collect as many player heads as possible. And I've been putting them in rooms all across the house. Just by placing these little player heads, it makes the build look so much better and just gives it that little extra bit of detail. But in saying that, we also have various other ways of collecting mini blocks. So we got two data packs. We got the Wandering Trader, which basically he comes around and he still has his normal trades, but he has a chance of having extra mini blocks, and there's various types of them. And basically we just pay 1 emerald and we get 8 mini blocks of a specific block. And we also have mob drop heads. So basically whenever we kill a mob passive or aggressive, we have a chance of dropping their head. Now with that out of the way, it is time to get started on today's episode. So right behind me, we have built our first custom tree in this world. And I am wanting to do a whole lot more of them. And we're actually going to be doing majority of them in our front yard here. So we're going to have trees going all the way over here. So we're going to have nice little spruce trees. I don't know what they're called, but the very fancy ones. We're going to have a few palm trees in here because this is a very tropical build. And last but not least, we're going to have a bunch of foliage going along the border here because I want it to look very overgrown, but at the same time, very maintained. But before I can get started, the first thing I need to do is probably change out of this suit. And that is looking a whole lot better. It feels good to be in your own skin. So right now, guys, I've got all the leaves collected, so we're going to start on this foliage kind of borderline. So let's go. Now this area is looking so much better. I love how bushy these leaves are. It just gives it that overall flair. Another thing I've been doing is placing in some shroom lights. So just getting rid of a few dirt blocks and covering it up with leaves. And by doing this, this will prevent any mobs from spawning in. Now with that out of the way, it is time to expand our fence line. And by doing that, leveling out our grass so then we can place in a lot more trees. Now this is looking 10 times better already, and with all the grass leveled out, we can finally get started on building up our proper trees. Now, how much better does our front yard look with all these bushes? So we've got a few trees in here and we got a bit of ground foliage. And we got the exact same on the other side, and I think these front little, I don't know what to call them, kind of these bushy trees, just make it look so much better. And from a distance, it looks awesome. So before we get started on the big trees, because at the moment these are just the small little branches and stuff that you'd find around, we're going to be getting into the bigger trees, and this will really cover our little front yard. But before we do that, I just want to show you real quick and see how our wool farm is going. So we built this last episode and it's been producing so much I've had to expand the storage. So this was the only chest that we had, but I've just extended it a bit further down here. And look at this, we've got wool galore. So we've got a bunch of grey, bunch of white, bunch of black, and some light grey in there. And we've got heaps in our hopper here, and even more up here. So it's going to be expanding pretty quickly. We'll have to do a bigger storage for it, and I'm just glad that it is working so well. We have used a lot of the wool to do up the interior. So now we got our inner wall sorted and our roof. So we've used white wool and light grey, and we have done the same up here as well. Now with all those small trees and pushes out of the way, we can finally get started on our big trees. So let's go. And would you have a look at this? This is looking amazing. And just to think that this started out with pretty much nothing, just with the tree in the middle, and we have turned this into such a lush little diverse front yard, and I am so happy with how this has turned out. And from every angle, this place still looks amazing. Even from afar, it still looks good. And just look at all that detail. Even from the little fences that are coming off our log and our stripped, and even some different leaf textures. So I think we got some dark oak in there, we got some spruce, and even a bit of birch somewhere. But in saying that, there is still a lot more that we need to do with the house. We've got a few more trees that I want to put in on the side and on the other side, and even a few at the back. And we still got this massive gap to fill in, which is going to turn into our pool. So we're going to be needing a bunch of prismarine blocks, but we're not at that point yet, so that's definitely a future job. Now you're probably wondering why we are over here, and that is because we're actually looking at this side bit, because next episode we're actually gonna kind of fix this up. We're gonna add a whole new modern house here pretty much, and it's gonna come off the side here, so it's gonna be dropped down a bit. We're gonna have the road kind of swerving around here, and the house is just gonna slot into this very nicely. And this will actually be a house where we collect our food from. Because guys, we are running out of food very quickly, and we have no proper source of getting it. Because all the animals in the area seem to not be spawning in, so it's becoming a problem for us to actually collect food. So we've been surviving off watermelon for a very long time, and it's time to change that. So I want to set up a crop field, an automatic crop field, and we'll have a villager inside, hopefully a villager from here, and they'll do all the farming for us. But anyway, guys, that's going to be it for today's episode. Anyway, guys, that is going to be it for today's episode. I know it was a very short one, and we do want to try and keep it short just because we really wanted to square off all these trees and complete this house as much as possible, just because we're going to be starting on a new project next episode, and we've had this house for 5 episodes now, so it is long overdue to be finished, and I'm just glad that we're slowly chipping away at it. Anyway, guys, I'll see you all in the next episode. Peace out.